My name is Jadon Enquist, and today I will be talking about cheerleading and whether it is a sport or not. The beginning of cheerleading, as stated by usacheer.org, was started by a Princeton University graduate, Thomas Pebbles, in 1882. Since the start, the spirited sport has been debated on if it really was a sport or not. Cheerleading takes a lot of time and energy and produces incredible skill and technique. It is a sport that anyone can participate in and enjoy. Unlike sideline cheerleading, competitive cheer does in fact have different rounds and a point system. The three main categories for skill are stunts, stand cheers, jumps, and tumbling. Every skill has its own amount of points, depending on how well you execute a certain skill. The judges will either give you a higher or lower score. Most often, cheerleading organizations use the 100-point scale system that is divided into 3 rounds. Round 1 is a ground cheer with only motions, then a cheer with jumps and tumbling, and then finally, the final round is stunting. Each round is a routine between 2 and 2.5 minutes. Although the scoring system can be complicated, it is scored such as how football has its own point system, so does cheer. For both competitive and sideline cheer, it takes a tremendous amount of time and effort to put into the sport. It takes time to learn not only the words for each cheer and routine, but also takes time to learn and memorize each motion. Even with knowing all of the words and motions for all the different cheers, which can be 50 to 100 stand cheers alone, cheerleaders must keep practicing to improve their sharpness and correct proper motion. They must perfect what they do to gain the highest possible scoring, because unlike football, when a play can be overturned, when cheerleaders are on the mat, they do not get any second chances. So everything they do has to be correct and precise the first time to impress the judges. Making even a small mistake, like forgetting where your mat placement is, can cost your team the win. Because of the pressure put into the sport, it is why cheerleaders put much passion and effort into perfecting their routines, as to not only progress themselves, but to not hold their team back either. In the article Why Cheerleading is a Sport, written by Courtney Higgins, Abigail Hansen, Katie McNally, and Rebecca Matthews, it is stated that there are no second chances in cheerleading. There is only one shot to take the floor and hit the routine as best as it can be, as this is why cheerleading requires such vigorous practices. Cheerleaders work so hard to be consistent with their skill so that they know when it's time to perform in front of a crowd, with just that one shot, they will hit the routine as perfectly as they can. Many people believe that being a cheerleader does not take any skill and that anyone can do it. Jennifer L. Betts, author of Why is Cheerleading Not a Sport, states it can be argued that cheerleading, when it is simply yelling into the crowds, does not require a great deal of skill. Anyone can learn routines and yell into the crowd as long as they smile a lot. While it is true anyone can be a cheerleader, it does take more skill than most realize. Cheer can be a very dangerous sport if certain skills are not executed accurately and safely. Written in Why Cheerleading is a Sport, it says, cheerleading is a very dangerous activity. More than 30,000 cheerleaders go to the hospital each year due to their injuries. Recently, a study found that cheerleading is the most dangerous sport for females due to the concussions and catastrophic injuries that can leave a cheerleader permanently disabled. The most dangerous aspects of cheer include stunting and tumbling. Even doing a simple cartwheel could potentially harm a person if they don't have the correct skill and practice to do it correctly. Stunting and tumbling are only a small aspect of the skill involved in cheerleading. Most everything a part of cheerleading takes skill, even yelling and chanting. In order to project their voices, they must learn to use their diaphragm to make their voices deeper and sound more clear to the audience. A cheerleader not using their voice correctly can cause strain and pain to their vocal cords, as well as the audience not being able to hear the words clearly. The sport of cheerleading takes a lot of time, effort, skill, and passion. Even in your own school's cheer team, practices all of these values in order to be the best they can. Cheerleading isn't just a sport, but it brings people together. Whether it's bringing the players out on the field together or the fans in the stands, it unites people and gives everyone spirit.